it's Marie from the Professional Carers Network here. Fabulous to have you with us. So recently I found myself in one of those situations that happens quite a lot in care, but nobody really talks about, or not openly anyway. A family member turned around to me and said, when you leave, can you lock the door so mum doesn't wander off? And honestly, I completely understand why they were asking, because this wasn't about being controlling, it wasn't about being cruel, it was just fear. Fear that she might leave the house, fear that she might fall over, fear that she might wander off, fear that something terrible might happen. And when you care about someone, especially someone living with dementia, your brain naturally goes to, how do we stop that risk? How do we keep them safe? But here's where things get a bit complicated, because in care, the safest option isn't always the right option. Now, this family are lovely, but they are exhausted, they are worried, they are trying their best. And the truth is, a lot of carers will hear that request at some point. Can you just lock the door as you leave? Will you hide the key? Will you stop them going out? And years ago, I think a lot of us would have just done it without thinking too much about it, really. I certainly have done in the past, but because it feels a sensible thing to do, doesn't it? Until you actually stop and actually really think about it. Because if someone cannot unlock that door themselves, they're not free to leave. And then that can become a deprivation of liberty. It can also become a fire risk too. And suddenly what started off as like keeping someone safe can become something much, much bigger. And this is where care can get a bit tricky at times, because people love black and white answers, but real care, they're very much grey answers. Because yes, if you don't lock the door, maybe she does wander off, maybe the house might get robbed. But if you do lock the door, what happens if there is a fire? What happens if they're trapped? What happens if they're being unlawfully restricted in their own home? And these are the things that carers think about. And honestly, one of the biggest lessons I've learnt in care is this: you are not responsible for removing all risk, but you are responsible for not creating unlawful restrictions. So sometimes we have to just be happy with a certain level of risk, and that's uncomfortable. It can be uncomfortable at times, because families want certainty, carers want certainty, but you know what, humans, they just don't come with that certainty. So here's the simple, real, the rule I work by now. If someone can unlock the door themselves, then that's fine. That's just normal home safety, and you're happy to lock it as you leave. But if they can't get out independently, if they haven't got that cognition to be able to unlock that door, then I'm not comfortable locking them in. Instead, we look at safer alternatives. Things like door sensors, ring doorbells, thumb turn locks, neighbour relationships, GPS trackers. So we're looking to reduce that risk without taking away the freedom completely. Because good care isn't about being controlling. It's about balancing that safety, dignity and independence the best we can. And honestly, I don't think there's enough support for carers navigating these kind of situations. That's why in the Professional Carers Network, we go above and beyond to help our members have not only the confidence to tackle these tricky situations correctly and professionally, but also the toolkit and the reasons why behind they do the things that they need to do. So it's real practical, helpful resources is pretty much how we roll inside the Professional Carers Network. Because these decisions carry weight. You take them home with you and you question yourself. You wonder, did I do the right thing there? And we are in your corner, helping you every step of the way to make those decisions correctly. So if you are a carer watching this and you've ever found yourself stuck in one of those grey areas, just know you're not alone. Sometimes there isn't the perfect answer, just the decision that feels safest, kindest and most respectful in that moment. And for me, I'll always lean towards the least restrictive option. If conversations like this interest you, the real side of care, the practical side, nobody teaches properly, feel free to come and join us. And I genuinely love to know your thoughts on whether you would lock someone in. So comment below, what would you do in this situation? If a family member turned around to you and said, oh, mum's got dementia, will you just lock the door as you leave, please, so she doesn't wander off? Like, what would you do in that situation? And now's your time to just pause and think about that, and actually just make sure that you are lawfully practicing in the right way. Okay, speak to you soon. If you're a care worker who wants better support, better standards, and to be able to deliver better care, then you'll probably feel right at home inside the Professional Carers Network. It's a private community of brilliant carers from all over the UK. It's a safe space to connect, hang out, learn and share with like-minded people. There's also a classroom where you can learn all things business and care, a members map so you can find people local to you, and live events. Not to mention loads of other perks such as complimentary business insurance and free access to over 30 certified care training courses. There's no algorithms, no ads, no gimmicks, just real carers supporting each other and cheering each other on. We are the fastest growing self-employed care network in the UK, and the only one run by people who actually do the job. We do as we teach, so this isn't theory, it's real in the ditches what works strategies. We are showing the world how amazing care can be for all involved when you use the right business model. So if you're an amazing carer, then we want you. Scan your QR code on the screen or click in the link in the description and come and join us. And I'll see you inside.